Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at property address 5386 Northwest 164th Avenue here in Portland, located to the right of the front doorway, and I describe everything as if you're standing in the street facing the front of the house. So we're up against the front right corner of the house here. Clean out is easy to hunt down. It resides under this nice concrete lid. 3-inch ABS clean out. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is running. We are zeroed out and off we go here. Right out of the gate, that is a spiffy clean flow line. That's exactly how you want your sewer line to look right there. Fabulous looking. And that keeping your line clean comes down to just about one living habit. Obviously, paper towels, wipes, things like that you want to avoid going down your line. The number one culprit that gunks your pipe up is cooking oil and grease. We're hitting a belly here. We might be also hitting a transition joint. That's my assumption. Yep, there it is. I'm surprised this has concrete pipe. It's in that transitional era where, you know, we might... Let's take a closer look at this. It has a little bit of a red hue to it. This actually might... I'll have to wait until the line's drained out. This might be cast iron, which would be newer cast iron relative to most. And it's got a little bit different appearance to what you normally see, which is just pure rusty red. But if you look on the flow line down there, you've got a rusty red hue to it. Now, we do have quite a bit of standing water here in the line. We've also got this big hunk of junk sitting in the pipe, which I'm hoping is the causation behind that. That right there is exactly why you don't want to wad your toilet paper up into a softball. You can see they don't travel well. But we're gonna take a better look at this location on the way out. Sometimes it happens a lot where I, think there's a belly there and I sit here and shovel along this big mass of debris, and then you drain the line out and pull back, and poof, there goes all the standing water. A lot of times it's related to a debris dam. In fact, as I move this thing along here, the standing water keeps following it. So I'm fairly hopeful this is what's causing at least a portion of this standing water, but we'll see. I may have to do some toilet flushes to break this sucker loose. It's big. In fact, I think it's a wadded up bunch of wipes, or cleaning wipes, like Clorox wipes or ones to clean your mirrors and windows with. Big no-no to go down your sewer line, and you can see why. It only takes one or two of those things like that, coupled with just the, your kid flushing some balled up toilet paper down the line. That's all, blockage just like that. But as you can see, every time I push past the thing, the water line drains off, and as soon as I pull back behind it, you've got standing water again. So I think this is what's causing the issue here. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, what keeps your line clean, obviously, don't put junk like this down the pipe. But cooking oil and grease, number one culprit, it gunks your pipes up. It turns your line to a sticky mess, causes debris that would otherwise make it out to get stuck in the line, and when you get blockages, they block much more effectively. When your kids block the line up with toilet paper blockages are the most common blockages out there. A lot of them will naturally break loose under head pressure and disintegration. When your pipe walls get all greased up, it acts like glue. And so that same blockage, it might break loose after 3 to 5 feet of pipe fill up behind it, coupled with some disintegration. You get a big thick layer of grease in there, that same blockage can now withstand 20, 30 feet of pipe filling up behind it. So it's more likely your run-of-the-mill stuff that would break loose naturally will turn into a sewer event. That's especially a good habit to keep up on when you have little ones in the household. You're still learning how to fold their toilet paper. All right, I think I just about cleared this sucker out of here. Anyway, I love for people to see this. This is exactly why you want to avoid putting stuff like this down your line. If it takes a sewer camera and this much effort to get it out, your toilets are not going to do a terribly effective job at clearing something like this. Anyway, we're going to go locate here. We've hit the main about 55 feet. We're going to do some flushes to help bust that thing out of the line here. Then we'll pull back and take a better look at everything. Man, I just did 4 toilet flushes, 2 of which were upstairs to put more oomph behind it, and it still wasn't enough to move that thing out of here. It's amazing. Having a little bit of a time locating right now. This one terminates right into a manhole. These are usually very easy to figure out. I think the cast iron we're in right now is shielding the locate signal really effectively. We're going to push all the way into it here so I can look into the manhole. Alright, it's going to the manhole I thought it was going to. It was just very hard to... Cast iron shields the locate signal very effectively. When you're at the deep depths like we are right now, combined with that. Anyway, so if you're standing in the road, facing the front of the house, and this thing at this point will move on its way. Now, I've pushed all the way into the manhole. If something does bump into it, there we go. Now it's completely in. So stuff can, any debris coming in behind it is going to knock that thing loose now. Anyhow, if you look to the right, there's a manhole to the right of this property. It actually lines up with the left side edge of the neighbor's driveway. And there's another one there. As far as these things are out from the house now, I'm not, well, unless I start seeing a whole bunch of them anyway. Good gracious. If we start getting to many of those closer into the home, I may recommend some cleaning on it. Where they are currently and the way they're spread out right now, I'm not terribly concerned about it. If something did hang up for a moment, you're going to have so much head pressure building up behind that stuff. There's very little chance that would ever actually turn into anything beyond a temporary blockage that broke loose on its own. Anyway, this does actually appear to be cast iron pipe. It's newer cast iron. You can tell by the flow line there's a little bit of rust showing through. Cast iron, when it's newer, has an epoxy coating on the inside of it. So typically what you're looking at is, you know, 50, 60, 70-year-old stuff where the coating's worn off of it and it's just bonehead obvious what it is. This is much newer cast iron that still has that coating inside of it. And thus far, the stuff looks fantastic. And cast iron, and this actually might be more like a modern, I think they refer to it as like ductile iron. It's even better than older cast iron. It's got a higher carbon content to it, makes it flexible and extremely strong. A little bit of standing water back in this region here just after the transition. And we'll see how far this goes back into the ABS pipe. Yeah, that's pretty rinky-dink right there. So the belly here runs from around about 11 feet. Once I flatten the camera head, right now I'm in a downward trajectory. Once I flatten out here, that's actually the real depth of the water here. It's right around 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch, depending on where you're at in it. And similar in the cast iron. It's about 1/4. I don't even know if you even have a 1/2 inch there. It's very minor. So, and the only thing I could even refer to as buildup in the line is 3 wads of wipes that should not have gone down the line to begin with. And those are far out now. They're moving on their way. Just don't continue to put that stuff down there and you'll be just fine. So from about 11 feet to 16 feet here, you've got between 1/4 and 1/2 inch at maximum. 1/2 inch is pushing it. That's when water goes over the top of my camera lens, it's about 1 inch. So we're well underneath that. Zero buildup in the line. I would not expect to see any buildup with a belly that tiny, unless the line was being abused. So the line here, it looks like it runs out. I was going to do one more locate right at the transition here. So the line does not appear to cross the curb at the neighbor's house. I think it and then kind of shoots at an angle across the street to get to the manhole. Sitting here talking to myself without the microphone on, sorry about that. So I located the camera head. It runs about 10 feet straight away from the house, turns about that angle, and shoots off to the manhole there. So it's not running hard enough to go crossing over through the arborvitae in the neighbor's property. It just runs out here and then shoots off at an angle and then hits that manhole that's over, kind of sitting in front of the neighbor's driveway there. The main probably did not come all the way up the road when this house was built. That's why it's going out of the way to do that. Anyhow, great looking sewer line. The belly is way too minor to require repairs. It's a teeny little thing. And for reference, I don't even consider repairs on bellies until there's at least an inch of water with no water running at all for a minimum of 5 feet. And these days, I'm generally only doing that in really rough, nasty concrete pipe and or cast iron that's got heavy scale buildup, pipes that are very old and worn out. The combination of rough pipe materials and standing water is not my favorite combo. The standing water you've got in here has almost no bearing on functionality at all. So if you're blocking and backing up out of a belly that tiny, it has essentially nothing to do with the belly at all. It would have everything to do with what went down the sewer line. Just not enough there to hinder flow hardly at all. Everything is in good condition, superbly clean. You have good flow of the main lateral. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time. Very nice looking line and unique. It's very rare to see that pipe material on a house this new. Very, very uncommon. You'll see it here and there. I did one in Tualatin the other day, brand new construction that had ductile iron. It's extremely strong, very expensive pipe that's rarely used outside commercial realms because it's just expensive and it's kind of overkill. So anyway, good looking line there. It's functioning properly at this time.